We have been doing a lot of work with story elements in this unit, and one of those story elements is setting. Another element that I have noticed you're very strong in is characters. And so today we're going to talk about how the setting affects the characters. Keep in mind that setting is the time, place, and environment that the story is taking place. And it can be broad or general, right? So, like, the setting could be on Earth, but you could be more specific with the country or the town, or even like in your house or in your bedroom or in your bed. Like, it can get from really big to really specific. And we want to be as specific as possible when talking about setting. So, setting affects us in real life too. So, it makes sense that it affects characters, right? For example, like, I am pretty comfortable sleeping in my own bed at my own house, right? But if I sleep elsewhere, sometimes I'll have a hard time sleeping because I'm uncomfortable. I'm not used to that environment or that setting. So I wonder if you can think of a time that setting has affected you, maybe in a good way or in a bad way. But our lesson target is that I can determine the setting of a story and discuss its effect on my character. So, a lot of times in books, the setting has tons to do with how characters are feeling. So, for example, if you're reading a scary story, they usually take place in the dark, somewhere unfamiliar to the characters. It's usually like spooky and maybe like in the woods or a graveyard or like in a basement. It doesn't usually take place like on a bright sunny day in like a sunflower field with your whole family, usually. So think about how setting affects people, characters in books that you've read. It really sets the tone for how they're going to feel. We're going to talk more about that next time too. But think about Home of the Brave and how that setting affects Keck. So we know that it takes place in America. More specifically, it takes place in Minnesota in the wintertime. So we've already talked about this a bit, but I'm wondering if you could think about how that setting of America affects Keck in our story, Home of the Brave.